Thank you. Hey, you beautiful souls. I guess I have a special guest today. This is Anna Maria. I guess she has left me alone all day, and I guess oh, there she goes. Very good. Okay. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. So great to be sharing space with you today. All right. Here's my question for you all. You have, let's say you've been doing all the things spiritually. You've been doing your affirmations, you've been doing your meditations, you've done your vision board, you're doing right, you're doing your abundance prayers, right? You're doing all the things, and your bank account is not budging. You are working harder than ever, you are putting in more hours, more time, and maybe things that worked in the past are not working now. And why? Why is it when you have been doing all the things that it isn't making an impact? Right? You know intellectually that money is divine and that you can have what you want, and yet you're doing all the things and it's not making a difference. Why does that happen? The short answer is that money and wealth do not come from external action. Now, we do live on a 3D planet. And when you're in business, there are things to do, right? I'm here. I'm doing my live. I have to. If I want to speak to my community, this is something I have to do. And yet there are a lot of things that can be behind the scenes that are keeping money or keeping the action that you're doing from being effective in terms of how much money is coming in. The action that you're taking in the world and the money that you are making are they're linked in ways that maybe you're not seeing. So today what we're going to talk about are 5 reasons why you are doing all the things and yet you haven't been able to get to that 6-figure income, at least not consistently. And then what it is that you can do in order to be able to flip that around so that you can have the financial abundance, you can have the flow of wealth that you're really seeking. Okay? So that's what today is all about. Um, so I also want to say that once I share those 5 reasons, we'll also work on creating transformation now through some EFT tapping. And then if you really want to go ahead and make even more change, I'm going to invite you to go to abundanceheartbreak.com and do the tracing the heartbreak exercise. And that's going to give you even more information. And that will make even more sense once we've talked about the 5 different reasons. So stay tuned for that. I just want to plant that seed if you're somebody who's really ready to get moving with all of this and create some lasting change. Okay, so first reason why you are not consistently making the money that you want to make, even though you're doing all of the things. So that first reason is that you are treating these manifestation tools as if they are only an external action step. So let me say that again. You are treating manifestation tools as simply one more thing to check off the list. So, made my vision board, check. I've written out my list of affirmations, check. I have a daily meditation that I do, check. And once they're checked off the list, then it's kind of back to business as usual in how you're thinking or how you're organizing your day or how you are making decisions about what kind of action to take. Manifestation tools are designed not as these actions that I have to take in order to get towards my goal, but they're designed to help you learn how to communicate with the universe. I use universe and source as my words for that which is bigger than me. You insert whatever word works best for you, whether that's universe, nature, God, goddess, source, um, and whatever word it is. Okay, so just put your language in there. So let me say it again. Manifestation tools are designed to help you learn and consistently communicate with the divine. The language of the divine. So let me take a half a step back. When we're doing, when we're connecting spiritually, is we are allowing ourselves to work with the universe instead of working against it. We're learning brand new tools, a brand new perspective of how things come into being, right? So we work with the universe. The language of the universe is our being state, our feeling state, vibration, frequency, however it works best for you to think about. That's the language of the universe. Our being state, our frequency, our vibration is what goes out to the God goo, rearranges it, and then allows it to come back to us in a physical form of what we want. Those tools are designed to help you communicate in such a way that you can impress what you want out onto the God goo and stay enough in that frequency long enough to be able to receive it. But when you treat manifestation tools as just like one more stepping stone towards getting what you want, or using it as just something external that you do, something that you check off your list, it's a little bit like taking a trip to a country that doesn't speak your particular native language. And you learn a few key phrases, you learn hello, you learn goodbye, you learn where's the airport, where's the bathroom. You learn those key phrases, but then you get really frustrated because you can't communicate with the people who at your hotel who are going to tell you how to get to all the places you want to get to. Or you get to the restaurant and you've learned to say hello to the waiter, but you are when you want to go ahead and order, he doesn't understand what you're saying, and he brings you a dish. You thought you said one thing and he brings you, a dish that you would never have eaten. Right? So it's a bit like expecting these manifestation tools. Like I do it, I check it off my list, but I'm not using it. I'm not changing how I'm feeling. I'm not changing my frequency. I'm just doing the step. Okay. And I think that those of us who have, and I raise my hand for this, those of us who have been at this for a while, right? People come to my community because they've done all the things. I don't tend to work with people who are brand new to spirituality. I end up working with people who have read the books. They know about law of attraction. They know about manifestation. They've actually had some success and then some not success, especially in a really key area of something that's really near and dear to their heart. And when we get into this place, I think there's a lot of frustration that gets built up. So as you're listening to these reasons, I'm going to ask you to listen with some curiosity instead of judgment of yourself. It's so easy to go to that place of shame and blame. Like, it's super simple. It's easy to say, oh, manifestation happens when I think about what I want long enough to put that out onto the God goo, and then it comes back to me. Like, that sounds simple. And again, it isn't saying what we want, it's feeling what we want. But while they're simple concepts, they're not always easy because there's things that get in the way. So my invitation as you're listening to all of these is to be in a space of curiosity as opposed to a place of judgment or shame or blame. Okay, can we make that agreement? Okay. All right. So that's the first reason why you're doing all the things and still not getting to that consistent six figures. The second reason that I think plays a huge role is that we actually have a misunderstanding about money in general. We come from a place of being taught and learning that money is transactional. So the second reason why you are not able to you do all the spiritual things to get to that consistent figures is because you're still thinking about money as transactional. And this isn't a great surprise because that's really how our world tends to talk about money from a very early age, right? Maybe from your very first job, a babysitting job. Okay, I go and I do the thing. I babysit the kids. I'm there for 2 hours. They pay me X number of dollars an hour, and I bring that home. Or there's this really fantastic gadget that I want. And so I'm going to save my allowance and or save my that babysitting money. And then I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to give them the money and they're going to trade me that money for this gadget. So while there are transactional elements to how we tend to work with money, at its heart, money is relational. You are in relationship with money, and any dollar, any amount of money that you are ever given, whether that's in a paycheck or whether that comes from selling a service or you're given a gift of money, any any end put of money, any of receiving actual dollars is a result of your relationship with money. There are three players in your relationship with money. There's you, the divine, and physical money. You are the leader of your relationship with money because you are the only one in that triad with any free will. The divine has to follow your free will. Money, as an outgrowth, we'll talk about that in a minute, but as an outgrowth of the divine, has to follow your free will. But when you're not taught that you are the leader of the money relationship, you never show up in that leadership space. You tend to feel like you are at the whim of money. You feel like you're at the whim of the universe. And then we get these manifestation tools. You're like, oh, okay, that's how I get more coins in my hand, dollar bills in my hand, ones and zeros in my bank account. Oh, that's it. I just have to use this tool, right? But it isn't transactional like that. I mean, yes, there are elements of that. Don't go to the store and say, I want that bunch of bananas because I have a really good relationship. I don't have to pay you any money, right? There is that transactional exchange. But at its heart and core, money is relational. Any money that you're making, I'm going to say this again because I think it's important. Any money that you are making is a direct output of your relationship with money. So if you are not consistently receiving six figures, if you're not consistently receiving the flow of money that you want, it's because that's the output, right? The six figures is an output. You haven't set up the relationship to create that output. Perhaps you have some beliefs that are impacting how you show up in that relationship. So what I'm going to invite you to do is to imagine, what would it be like if you started to think about money being an output of this of a relationship. So let's dive into that actually a little bit deeper, with each of the next 3 reasons. So the third reason why you are not receiving the money that you want, even though you're doing all the things, is because you are showing up as the leader of this money relationship from a place of abundance heartbreak. Abundance heartbreak happens when there's something that we have wanted and wanted and wanted. And it's not just, oh, I want a pair of new blue jeans. It's, I want this thing that I feel so deeply down to my core that is supposed to be happening. And then it doesn't. So that heartbreak can look a lot of different ways. You might be feeling that heartbreak because what you wanted was the actual money itself. You know that freedom and choices come from having this really beautiful flow of money, and you know it's possible. You know your divinity. You know you're supposed to get what you want, and this money just isn't showing up. So maybe that's what created the heartbreak. Or maybe that heartbreak gets created because you really want to share your gifts and talents with the world, and for whatever reason, as you're sharing sharing your gifts, you are not finding your people. You just aren't receiving back from the business the flow of money that you want. And so it becomes really, right, that heartbreak happens because here's this essential part of yourself, this gift that you have, this message that you have that is meant to be given to the world, and the world's kind of going, right? That's heartbreaking. Or that heartbreak might have originated because you have done all the business things. You've taken all the marketing classes. You shift out of being a salaried person into this entrepreneurial world, and you've taken the marketing classes, you've taken purpose, courses, you've outlined your business. Your heart is just so eagerly anticipating, doing this business. You've networked, you've literally put in all the hours, and you're not seeing that return. And maybe you're watching other people who've done less than what you've done, and they're getting it and you're not. And whether that's part of it or not, maybe that's where the heartbreak originated for you. When we get into this really unique space of abundance heartbreak, there are a couple of things that happen. We can really get into a place of shame. We can get into a place of blaming ourselves, blaming the divine, blaming our partner, whatever it is, right? We make decisions about ourselves because of what we haven't been able to create yet. I spoke about this a little bit in last week's live, but it warrants saying again. We make these decisions like, I'm not enough. I'm the one mistake in the universe. There's got to be something wrong with me. God hates me. It can get pretty deep. And then we take these decisions that we've made about ourselves. We take all of these emotions that we're feeling, And then we try to lead our money relationship from there. Doesn't work very well, right? Here we are, we're one of the three pillars of the money relationship. We're the most important, not from an ego point of view, but from the fact that we're the ones with the free will. And then we show up as a leader from a place of shame, from a place of not feeling good enough, from feeling like there's a mistake happening, uh, being angry. Leadership doesn't work very well when you're in that space. Imagine being in a love relationship where you show up in a place of anger, shame, and blame, and thinking you're not good enough, or that you don't deserve to be in that relationship. What's going to happen? Eventually, the other person's going to say, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to give you what you need. Same thing in your money relationship. When you're leading from that place of lack, when you're leading from that place of sadness or shame, you simply don't make your asks in a way that the divine can return anything to you. Right? All you're doing is, when you bring that to your leadership role, all you're doing is amplifying experiences that are going to match those feeling states coming back to you. That's what the output is going to be. You put in frustration, you get out frustration. You put in shame, you get out results that you're ashamed of. Okay. I'm going to invite you, if you want to go deeper with this, I'm going to invite you to go to abundanceheartbreak.com and to do that tracing the heartbreak exercise that I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream. Because I think this is just one of those pieces of information that is so important. Because if we don't know, and here's the thing about abundance heartbreak is, we're in it. We can't see it. It feels real, but we can't see it. The more that you can see it and understand what that heartbreak is, the more you're going to be able to morph it into a being state that allows you to step into a new leadership role. And I'll talk more about that in future lives. But I can't emphasize enough about how important it is to know what decisions you've made about yourself because of that abundance heartbreak. Okay. All right. So just as a way to wrap up this third reason, is to remind you, when you show up to your money relationship from this place of abundance heartbreak, the manifestation tools that you're using, all they're doing is they're putting a band-aid, really, over the top of your frequency. And all that does is return you more of the heartbreak. Right? So that's a really important reason as to why you're not getting the six figures that you want. Okay. So let's move on to reason 4. The fourth reason that you aren't making the money that you want, even though you have done all of the things, all of the spiritual things, is that you're showing up into this relationship with a misunderstanding about the divine and the divine's role in creating money. We tend to think about the divine when it comes to money. We tend to think about the divine as Santa Claus, right? Santa Claus has the naughty list and the nice list. If I stay on the nice list, then divine God universe is going to give me what I want. And I stay on that nice list by doing all of my manifestation tools, right? I'm going to do all these tools. I'm a good girl. I'm a good boy. And therefore, I'm going to finally get back what I want, right? The divine is not Santa Claus. All money is a tangible representation of the divine. Money is a divine made physical. The divine, you are part of the divine. You are a drop of the divine ocean. You have access to all of the resources of divinity simply because you are a soul on this planet, simply because you are a drop of divinity. The divine offers you resources in response to your request. The divine is not looking at whether you're worthy or not. The divine is not looking at whether you deserve it or not. The divine is not looking at whether you have dotted all your I's or crossed all your T's. The divine is simply responding to your clean and clear request. That's it. The more that we remember that we are of the divine, the more that we can allow those resources to flow. The more we remember there are no rules. I am sure if I asked you, you could come up with at least 5 people who are out in the greater community, that's your particular community, that come across as really not very nice people, and they're rich. They have all the money that they want. If being worthy and deserving of money were a thing, the world would look a lot different, right? The people with money would look a lot different. It's not. It's simply those people know how to access those resources in a different way. Okay. So that's the fourth reason. And the right that you have a misunderstanding of the divine and its role in money. So the fifth and final reason that we're going to talk about today about why you're not getting the money that you want, even though you've done all the spiritual things, is that you are showing up in this relationship with money, whether you're aware of it or not, but you're showing up in this relationship with beliefs about money that just don't support receiving an output of 6 figures. Maybe you have a belief that you have more money, you're going to have more problems. Or if I get more money, I'm going to have to work my fingers to the bone. Maybe you have a belief that, well, I can do it once, but that was basically lightning in a bottle, and I'm not going to be able to do it again. I'm going to have to work even harder to get that money. Or maybe you're starting to butt up into beliefs about, if I start making the kind of money that I really want to make, then I am going to fundamentally change at my core. Right? Money is going to change me. I'm going to start chasing money instead of providing the service to people that I really want. Right? Another really big one that I see is that people stop that flow of money because it comes, they figure out how it's going to come to them, and then they hold it. And they keep it in their accounts, and they don't want to spend it. And I'm not saying that the key to having more money is to spend more money, but it's understanding that basic flow, that money ebbs and flows. It comes in, it goes out, it comes in, it goes out. And if you're holding it in your account because you're afraid it's never going to be replenished, then that belief is going to stop your ability to be in the flow and be in that leadership role with money. Okay. So those last 3 reasons, if you noticed, were each reason related to one of the 3 components of the money relationship, right? Whether you are this last one, this reason 5 was about beliefs about money. So that's about the money part of it. Not understanding how the divine is involved in money. That's the divine part. And then thirdly, the third reason was you show up into your leadership role from a place of abundance heartbreak. Okay, so a lot of how you can start to consistently create those 6 figures is to learn to come into your relationship with money as the leader in a really conscious and clear way. So what I would like to do next then is to do some tapping to start to shift into this leadership role when it into the leadership role with money. Okay. So if you are not familiar with tapping, I'm going to, you don't need to do it now because I'm going to lead you through everything. So don't worry about that. If you want to know more about tapping, I'm going to invite you to go take a look at the EFT introductory video that I have on my channel. That will explain everything and more about tapping. But in a nutshell, what you're doing with tapping is you are rewriting old feelings and thoughts and beliefs and inputting new thoughts and beliefs about money. And you can use it for anything, but we're using tapping as today in to shift this relationship with money. We are going to tap on acupressure points, and we're going to use language. And if you are someplace where you can do this, I'm going to invite you. This works because you tap along with me. And so go ahead and tap. And then you also want to repeat after me. Okay. You'll notice, of course, that I am doing this for the whole group. So there's a good chance that I might use a little bit of language that doesn't exactly match what it is that you feel. You're welcome to either change the language in the moment or say it as I've given it. You're not going to pick up anything that you don't already have, right? You're not going to pick up an old, somebody else's belief. You're not going to pick up whatever it is I'm saying. But because we have spent this whole time having a discussion about your money relationship, what's your system, your mind, body, spirit system is already activated. Your brain is already activated thinking about all of the ways that you are out of alignment with your relationship with money. So your system knows what needs to get switched here. Okay. All right. You can tap with your right hand or your left hand. It doesn't matter. And when you tap, you want to tap with enough force that you can feel it. But we're working with the same points that an acupuncturist is going to use with a hair fine needle. So you don't need to use a lot of force. And I'm just going to ask you to trust me and step in and tap with me. Okay. All right. So let's come. The first point is the outside edge of your hand. And I will always tell you what point to go to next. Okay. So start here on the outside edge of your hand and simply repeat out loud after me. Even though I'm so frustrated that I have done so many spiritual things, I've done affirmations and visualizations. I've done meditations, and I'm still not making 6 figures. And I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I'm now learning that I'm supposedly the leader of my money relationship, but I must be a terrible leader because I'm not getting what I want. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I am so tired of not getting what I want. I don't even know how to lead my money relationship. I thought I was doing all the right things. I thought I was doing all the right business actions. I thought I was including the divine. I thought I was using the law of attraction. But I'm not getting what I want. And I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Good. Okay. So next point, come up to the inside end of your eyebrow. I'm feeling so frustrated. Outside of your eye. So tired. Under your eye. So angry. Under your nose. So exhausted. Under your lip. I feel a little bit collarbone, at the mercy of money. Under your arm. I'm at the mercy of the universe. Top of your head. I'm trying really hard. Eyebrow. And I'm a little heartbroken. Outside of your eye. When am I going to get my stuff? Under your eye. I thought I was supposed to get what I thought about. Under your nose. And I've been thinking about wanting more money. Under your lip. And it's still not here. Collarbone. Angry. Under your arm. Frustrated. Top of your head. Ashamed. Eyebrow. I should be doing better. Outside of your eye. I should be making more. Under your eye. There must be something wrong with me. Under your nose. That's got to be it. Under your lip. So many other people can get the law of attraction to work for them. Collarbone, but not me. Under your arm. Ashamed. Top of your head. Sad. Eyebrow. Honoring and acknowledging all these feelings. Outside of your eye. They make a lot of sense. Under your eye. Of course I'm feeling this way. Under your nose. But what I'm learning is, under your lip, that I'm part of a money relationship. Collarbone. I didn't know I was part of a money relationship. Under your arm. And I certainly didn't know I was the leader of that money relationship. Top of your head. I've been leading it without being a leader. Eyebrow. I wonder what will happen. Outside of your eye. when I really take a leadership role under your eye, when I acknowledge I'm the only one with free will, under your nose, what happened in the past doesn't really matter, under your lip, because I didn't know what I didn't know. Collarbone, and now I know. Under your arm, I'm I'm the leader of my money relationship. Top of your head, the divine and money have to follow my direction. Eyebrow, money is just a physical representation of the divine. Outside of your eye, I'm part of the divine. Under your eye, I have access to all the resources of the divine. Under your nose, and I'm in charge. Under your lip, offering myself some love and compassion for not knowing what I didn't know. Collarbone, I didn't know what I didn't know. Under your arm, I'm really looking forward to seeing what shifts. Top of your head, now that I know. Good. And then relax your hand and take a nice deep breath. Then I want you to tune in to how you're feeling now about your ability to create change in your money relationship and your ability to consistently bring in those six figures. Now, we didn't specifically address six figures in that tapping, so that you may find that thinking about making six figures actually takes you out of feeling a little bit more peaceful. Okay. So just now focus on how your body feels, knowing that you get to be the leader in that money relationship. Okay. The goal here is to get to a place of feeling resonance with knowing you are the leader of your money relationship, resonance with knowing that money is simply divine energy, knowing that the divine and money follow your free will. That's the resonance that you want to make here. Okay? And you do that by releasing your abundance heartbreak, by shifting your belief state to be in alignment with all of this. But that very first step that we just did, if you notice how different your body feels after the tapping, that's the frequency that we're going for. That's the vibration that we're going for. Okay. So my invitation to you is, if you're feeling it a little bit, but not as much, rewatch this part of the live. Keep tapping until you start to feel a shift. And then if you want to take it a layer deeper, okay, I'm going to say it one more time, go to abundanceheartbreak.com and do the tracing your heartbreak exercise. You'll sign up for it. I will send it to you. And that is going to give you more information about the decisions that you've made about yourself and about your ability to be in relationship with money based on your abundance heartbreak. Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to wrap up here, and I will be back on this channel same time next week, Mondays at 4 Central. And I look forward to seeing you then. Take good care, everybody. Bye-bye.